You've been fed a lie. Now this lie is the source of all of your pain with her. Why she betrayed you, went cold, lied to you, lost respect, won't sleep with you. I mean, I'm talking about all of it. But hey, I bought this hook, line, and sinker as well in my past. And I'll share with you a sad story about that later on. But first I wanna show you how to never again be taken advantage of in your relationship. So if you find yourself walking on eggshells around her, afraid that one wrong move will push her away for good, she may say you're a good man, but she just doesn't feel the same anymore. Then listen up, because my goal for you is to give you the tools and information that you need. After watching this video, you'll know exactly how to get her to start looking at you with mutual desire and admiration that you guys had for each other when you first met. Thinking about expressing every need you have, honestly and directly, without manipulation, passive aggression, or anything. And it's just clear. That transformation isn't about becoming someone that you're not. It's about stripping away the social conditioning that's burned you in the past, preventing you from being the authentic man that you are. When you reclaim this natural power, you'll not only find this improvement in relationships, but every other aspect of your life. My name is Josh Hudson, and for the past decade, my team and I have helped thousands of men reclaim their masculinity in relationships. In this video, I'll show you why women say they want a nice man, but then reject him when he shows up, the biological truth about your real value, and how nice guy behaviors are a nice to have, not a need to have, how specific behaviors cause her to lose respect for you that you thought, and even society told you that you should show her to make her happy. We'll delve deep into your nice guy tendencies and where they came from. And then finally, I'm gonna give you a no BS practical 3-step guide to erase those qualities in yourself to step into highly attractive habits. All right, why do women say they want a nice guy? Yet the more you invest in her over the years, she seems to be less and less happy.
So, how was your day?
Good.
Good. Excellent. I hope you don't mind. I invited Lewis to stay for dinner tonight. You know, as a thank you for driving Walter Jr. to school for us.
You give her more time, you sacrifice hobbies and friends and money and everything, and it never seems to be enough.
You're home early.
It's Good Friday.
How did it go?
It didn't.
Bobby, stop playing with the robot.
I'm gonna give you a perfect analogy on why she does this later on. But for now, just know that she's not being cruel. She's actually teaching you a valuable lesson that every single woman eventually does teach the man that they're with. Let me show you why she responds to what she responds to from a biological perspective. All right, look, female attraction, which is the foundational first step that causes a woman to be with men that must be there all the time, or the whole thing crumbles. It is not a conscious decision they make. They don't choose who to be attracted to. The man does and says and behaves in a certain way, right? He is who he is, and that's what causes her to feel attracted. Play that back and hear it again. If you start attuning your focus to why women say they want to be with a man, whether in movies, TV, media, songs, whatever it is, women that you're listening to in a restaurant, just me, okay? If you ever really listen, they're not saying, oh yeah, he was 6'4" and he made 6 figures and all these things that are in the ether of the internet that people say that a woman wants, right? That is men projecting what they think women want. A woman, when she's first falling for a guy, or she's stating the reasons why the guy she's with makes her so happy, she is stating how he makes her feel. That's it. Now those feelings, which a woman are so inclined to do what they do, AKA stay with a guy, come from thousands of years of biological programming. Now, I know you're romantic. In fact, I would say men are far more romantic than women. And I don't want to be love's executioner here, but what I'm about to say isn't killing love. It's reshaping the map of the lie that you've been told around it. She didn't lose attraction for you because she's cruel or fickle. Her DNA is simply responding to signals that you are not a viable mate anymore, okay? Throughout human history, women needed men who could protect them and their offspring, make decisions under pressure, and demonstrate strength. Not just physical strength, by the way, but mental and emotional resilience. Therefore, being nice or caring or compassionate is a nice to have thing. It is not a need to have to stay in a relationship. That is major key. So listen, I want you to imagine that you had 2 jobs. This is the analogy I was talking about before. You had 2 jobs, right? And the first one, the boss is just super nice to you. He lets you take a couple weeks of vacation per year. There's some upward movement potentially over the years, but you know, they have their problems in the company. It goes up, it goes down. It's uncertain. It's kind of stable. But then this other job pays 5 to 10 times more. There is over a month or 2 of free vacation that is paid for, actually, right? You can work remote. The company has exceptional people in it. I mean, it is just a dream team. The company just going upward and onward in a freaking industry that you love, okay? But your boss in that job is the biggest dick in the world. Now, most people would sacrifice being treated nicely for all those other perks. It is the same thing with her in a relationship. This doesn't mean you have to become a jerk. It means you can give her all those perks in the relationship, okay? But still be nice to her. In fact, I had a client, let's call him Michael, who couldn't understand why after 12 years, his wife suddenly became cold, distant, and emotionally just empty. And then she had an emotional affair with the guy. He said, as many men do, I gave her everything. I never said no to her. I compromised daily. I sacrificed, but it was never enough. Everyone, her family and mine, thinks she's crazy for leaving me for this guy. Is she? You see, she's not. And let me show you why through the specific nice guy traits that cause her to lose desire in being with you. I'll tell you through another story. Okay, so Henry and Hannah, they met on this beautiful Saturday morning at this wellness event. They immediately connected. It took him some courage to walk up to her, but as soon as he did, it was just effortless conversation back and forth. Fast forward 2 years in the relationship, and Henry, he started to leave every decision to Hannah. He would say, she's just so dominant. I mean, she likes to do this. She likes to make decisions. She's really good at it. But Hannah didn't want to lead. She felt she had to because Henry automatically didn't. See, over time, Henry became more complacent with his life. He used to be passionate about running these ultra marathons, and he stopped. Hanging out with certain friends, going trips around the world, going on trainings to learn things and networking events, he stopped it all. And eventually one day after years, he went through Hannah's phone to find messages with her pickleball partner. And you can imagine stuff that he found, right? Henry was completely blindsided by all of this, thinking like, how the hell could this happen? When he confronted her, he had to give her credit. She was brutally honest when he finally caught her. She said, you're not the man that I fell for. You don't take care of yourself. You don't have any more ambition. You don't try to seduce me. You just like, let's just do this. I might as well just put the money on the table. You're more focused on your golf score than how I actually feel. She didn't feel seen, desired, any of that. And more than anything, she felt like she was the one leading all the time. That's what she said to him. It was harsh. I want you to think if you have a daughter. I mean, many guys watching this have a daughter. And the man that your daughter ends up with as she marries makes her feel unsafe, unsure, unfulfilled, unseen, because he couldn't make decisions. He couldn't stand up for himself. He couldn't stand up to her when she tested him. She wasn't providing the stability that she craves. He was letting himself go. He was just coming home from work and sitting on the couch for hours, until midnight, drinking beer and then going to sleep and waking up and doing the whole thing all over again. She was so just unhappy. Would you want that for your daughter? Of course you wouldn't want that for your daughter. No loving father would. The truth is, when you embody these nice guy traits I'm about to show you, you're not showing up as your authentic self. The version of you that she fell in love with, who you really are when you're on your purpose as a man.
Almost all losers will attempt to pass themselves off as nice guys. And I mean the infantile dependent types. I'm not infantile and dependent, I'm nice. So some nice guys are competent, but all infantile losers, except those who've fallen completely off the edge of the world and are resentful beyond belief, they're going to pass themselves off as nice guys.
Here are 5 nice guy behaviors that absolutely torch her attraction for you. The first one is neediness in disguise. I'm talking about sending her over a bunch of emojis, double texting, responding too quickly, being like a freaking, stalking her on social media when she's not around. Just that behavior altogether. The next one I call boundaries made of wet tissue. I made a video in the past talking about the best skill that you could have with any woman in a relationship, your wife, is your ability to say no, because the feminine always wants more. So you eventually have to have your strong boundaries and say no to her. And she wants you to say no to her on a very spiritual, subconscious level. So learn how to do it without being reactive and oh my gosh, she's upset. It's okay. You auto apologize a lot. You're just saying, I love you on the phone right before she leaves because you're seeking that reassurance, okay? The third one is the validation junkie syndrome. This one is like, you just see her and you're like, oh, you're so attractive. Even if you find her beautiful, she can sense that you're calling her attractive, or you're seeking approval, okay? You're slightly pulling out these strings that you're attached to make sure that, hey, I just want to let you know I'm here for you. She knows you want her. You don't have to tell her, actually. See, the thing is that you're terrified she's gonna reject the real you, so you have to constantly shapeshift and do things to prove your value. And therefore, if you feel internally not valuable enough, you have to do something, you're communicating subconsciously that you're not. The fourth one is emotional cowardice. You refuse to reveal your own feelings, yet you can't sit still when she has this surge of emotion, right? You try to fix things, smooth it out, because holding that space is really hard for you. This isn't about being overly stoic. It's about holding that space, having an open heart when you're talking to her. For this last one, I just remember one of the first clients ever in this marriage reset program. I was working with him one-on-one, and he said to me, he's like, Josh, I lost like 30 pounds and she's never even made one comment on it. Like, I have all these neighbors commenting, everyone's commenting. And then finally I brought it up the other night. I said, I lost all this weight, right? And she said verbatim, I love women, they're how intuitive they are. She goes, oh, you were doing it for me? And it was just like, yeah, like, are you doing things to get her approval? All right, so where does all this come from? Before we give you the 3 steps on how to overcome it, you have to know awareness is so much about overcoming these things. So it comes from 2 places. I talked a lot about how your father played a role in this. And so there'll be a video at this one about another nice guy behaviors, more of them that I haven't talked about in this video. And I'll talk about how it came from your father. And we'll talk about your mom through my mom. I love my mom to death. She's a wonderful woman. She was so verbally affirmative, right? Always saying I could do the best. And she was just so supportive of me, okay? But my father wasn't around because he worked a lot, as many fathers do. I'm sure your father actually worked more than my dad. And my parents did the best they could. So did yours, no matter what happened in your upbringing, no matter what happened. But my mom, she wasn't the most physically affectionate, and it was hard to really connect with her on a deep emotional level, have that deep emotional connection. And I remember it was consistent where she would come home from work and she always wanted the chores in the house to be spotless. She always complained about how, she worked all day and she came home and she had to work a second job. And many women, they in fact do. So I wanted to be a good little boy. And when she came home, I'm like, Mom, hey, oh yeah, I ran up to her, seeking attention, being like, Mom, my homework is done. I cleaned all this. I vacuumed the stairs like you asked. And I even did the dishwasher. And my older brother, he was supposed to do it, but I did it because I'm the good boy, right? I didn't say those words exactly, but and that would be like, hey, do you need anything else? I can help you cook. I can help you do this. Point of the story is that I was training myself to connect with the feminine, that I had to do things to receive her approval, to receive her attention, okay? So how could this not carry forward in my relationships with women? Dr. Glover, who wrote the book No More Mr. Nice Guy, he calls this the covert contract. You see, essentially, if this resonates with you, that story, then you were taught that you can only receive love when you are doing something. That's the performative action, right? You see, most men in our society, they were raised by their mothers, right? They didn't have that masculine challenge. Their fathers were working all the time. We used to have tribes and rituals of practice of men becoming men, right? And it still happens with a lot of tribes. And I think men don't get that really ritual or practice of stepping into manhood and developing these certain parts of their character on a psychological and emotional basis unless they join a fraternity or a military or police force or sports teams. But even then, it is not really a guided process where there's like people who specialize in these practices. It's just like, there's brotherhood and stuff, but it's just not really guided in a scientific manner. And honestly, this is why our program is so effective, because in our brotherhood, we have the experts, we have the people that are above in the journey, helping the guys below. And that guided process helps this integration process of overcoming these nice guy traits. And let me go over 3 of the top ones that we use in the program that really help men integrate and get rid of those nice guy behaviors to instead replace them with the highly attractive habits of what we call masculine integrity. I touched on this first skill, but I want to elaborate on another story. I was in the Uber the other day and I was talking to this guy who was Jamaican, and he was a music engineer, right? He made reggae music. And he was saying, man, I'm on my up and path. I went to Jamaica and I recorded with these top artists from around the world. And he's like, but I just met a woman and she's trying to take me off my path. There's actually Bible passages that I read that, the devil will send you a woman or lust whenever you are on the right path of God, and God will test you by having the devil send this woman to you. I think it was going probably a little bit too far, but the point still remains, right? That feminine nature is meant to push you off course because she wants you to stay on your course that you're meant to have as a man. And many men, they sacrifice who they were meant to be and why they were on this planet in order to appease their woman. So learn to be comfortable saying no and upsetting her more often. Now, the second skill helps you navigate when to say no, okay? And that is understanding your values and your boundaries. Your values and your boundaries make up who you are to the closest aspects of who you can be, okay? Values are things that you strive for every single day. You cannot fully achieve them, but they are signposts. If you're stuck on the decisions of life of where to go, what to do, you lean on your values for direction, okay? As an example, let's say a client has a disagreement with, let's say, a coach in our team, okay? And I look at that and I say, okay, what do we value here in our company, right? We value compassion, okay? It's one of the things that we value. It's one of our core values in the company. So I'm gonna look at the situation. I'm gonna look at the client, what he's going through. I'm gonna have hear both sides of the coach and the client, and I'm gonna determine, based on our value of compassion, how can I be compassionate towards this client right now to help him out the most, okay? So for yourself, in those situations where you don't know what to do, she's crossing a boundary and you're not sure how to respond because you're afraid of losing, you must understand your values and then make decisions congruently with them, and that is the only way that she can respect you. The last skill that is so important for you to understand to overcome these needy nice guy traits, it is to master emotional resilience. Your ability to sit in the storm of her emotions and be unmoved, that your nervous system is not dysregulated by her nervous system being dysregulated. This shows that you are detached to her in a healthy way. You have your own sense of self. See, she needs to be falling into your frame, that when you have a calm nervous system, you better calm her down because you're having a stronger frame, not vice versa, where she can shake you off course. Now, I made a whole video deep diving in how to be unreactive. The video is right here, so check that one out. You can set up a call with our team as well. Click the link down below. Set that free call. Just make sure you're fully committed to taking action. And thanks for watching. Nice guy video here, unreactive video here. I'll see you in the next one.